What if I told you there's a 5-day window where your body switches into a completely different mode of operation? One where it starts breaking down its own damaged cells to build brand new ones. Not a supplement, not a device, not a trend you saw on social media last week. This is a biological process so significant that the scientist who mapped out how it works won a Nobel Prize for it. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly what happens inside your body during a 5-day water fast, hour by hour, day by day. What you can drink, how to prepare, and the one part almost nobody talks about that determines whether you keep the benefits or lose them. Stick with me to the end because that last part matters more than people realize. Let's start with why this is different from the 16-8 or 18-6 intermittent fasting you've probably already heard about. Digestion is expensive. Your body spends a tremendous amount of energy breaking down food, and every time you eat, your gut is exposed to mechanical stress and microbial activity it has to manage. When you remove food entirely for several days, you're not just skipping meals. You're freeing up a massive pool of resources that your body can redirect toward repair. Research published in Clinical and Translational Medicine in 2021 found that a 5-day water-only fast reduced several markers linked to metabolic syndrome and improved biomarkers associated with aging. And it did this without causing toxicity, even in people who were already a healthy weight. This approach tends to be most meaningful for people dealing with metabolic syndrome, obesity, chronic inflammation, autoimmune conditions, digestive issues, or even those concerned about cognitive decline and cancer risk. That said, this is not for everyone. If you're pregnant or nursing a young child, living with type 1 diabetes, recovering from an eating disorder, a competitive athlete in the middle of your season, already underweight, or taking certain medications, this isn't the right tool for you, and you should talk to your healthcare provider before making a change like this. Now let's go inside the body and see what actually happens. In the first 12 to 14 hours, your digestive system finishes its work, and your liver wraps up a full detox cycle. The energy that was going toward processing food starts shifting toward your brain and your organs, which is often why people notice their thinking feels a little clearer around this point. Around this same window, you'll probably feel hungry, and that hunger is driven almost entirely by a hormone called ghrelin, released by an empty stomach. Here's the trick most people don't know. That morning hunger isn't really your body asking for calories, it's your stomach asking to be filled. Drink a large glass of water, and you physically stretch the stomach wall, which quiets ghrelin down. The craving fades, not because you fought through willpower, but because you understood the mechanism. Somewhere between hours 16 and 20, things really start to shift. Insulin, which has been elevated since your last meal, finally drops low enough to flip on fat burning. Your body has a limited supply of stored sugar, roughly 100 grams sitting in the liver and up to 400 grams in your muscles, depending on your size and activity level. Once that's used up, your body pivots to burning stored fat, starting with visceral fat around your organs. At the same time, your liver begins converting fatty acids into ketones, including a molecule called beta-hydroxybutyrate. This matters because fat itself can't cross into your brain, but ketones can. They're small enough to slip through the blood-brain barrier and act as clean fuel for your neurons. They also behave like signaling molecules, calming inflammation and boosting something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which functions almost like fertilizer for brain cell growth. One study in Nature Metabolism in 2021 described ketones produced during fasting as active anti-inflammatory signals that support healthier mitochondria and brain function, not just a backup fuel source. Right around that same 17 to 20 hour mark, your cells activate a process called autophagy. Think of it as an internal cleanup crew that identifies old, damaged proteins and worn-out cellular machinery and recycles them. When this process specifically targets your mitochondria, the tiny structures that generate energy in every cell, it's called mitophagy. This is the process that Japanese biologist Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize for uncovering. His research confirmed that fasting triggers autophagy, and that this process is tied to extended lifespan and protection against neurodegenerative disease. Clearing out damaged mitochondria matters because damaged mitochondria are inefficient at burning fat. Once they're cleared away, your body can build fresh, resilient mitochondria that actually do their job well. By around hour 24, something dramatic happens with your hormones. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that a 24-hour fast can raise growth hormone levels by up to 2,000% in men and around 1,300% in women. Growth hormone is often called the anti-aging hormone because it helps burn fat, preserve and build muscle, reduce inflammation, and support collagen production for your skin, hair, nails, and joints. What makes this particularly interesting is that fasting raises growth hormone without raising IGF-1, a related hormone that, at high levels, has been associated with cancer cell growth. So you get the muscle-preserving, fat-burning benefits of elevated growth hormone without the downside. Between hour 30 and 48, your brain goes through what almost feels like a reset. That surge in brain-derived neurotrophic factor continues climbing. A 2014 trial published in the Journal of Molecular Neuroscience found that fasting can boost it by more than 50%, and people frequently report sharper thinking and more creativity during this window. At the same time, ketones are quieting a structure called the inflammasome, essentially an inflammation amplifier in your brain and body, which helps explain why people feel calmer during extended fasts. Researchers at Yale have also found that fasting appears to reset the sensitivity of dopamine receptors in the brain, which may explain why so many people report fewer food cravings and less dependence on processed food for a mood boost after fasting. Then, around hour 72, your immune system starts to regenerate. Dr. Walter Longo at the University of Southern California has led research showing that a 72-hour fast can trigger a near-complete renewal of immune cells. Old, damaged white blood cells are cleared out, and stem cells begin producing new ones. Regulatory T cells, which coordinate immune responses with precision, increase as well, something that appears especially useful for people managing autoimmune issues, chronic inflammation, or ongoing fatigue. Push into the 90 to 120-hour range, and you hit peak autophagy, along with the beginning of significant stem cell production. This is when your body starts clearing out what researchers sometimes call senescent cells, essentially zombie cells that have stopped functioning properly but linger anyway, releasing low-grade toxic byproducts. Past the 100-hour mark, stem cell production ramps up meaningfully, and by day 5, you're at the peak window for both growth hormone release and cellular regeneration. It's worth noting that pushing beyond 5 days increases the risk of losing lean muscle and bone, particularly if you're already at a normal weight. So this isn't a case where more is automatically better. Here's what the actual experience tends to look like day by day. Day 1 usually brings fatigue, some brain fog, hunger, and maybe a headache or mood swings, all completely normal as your body adjusts. You'll likely urinate more as stored glycogen releases water along with it. A pinch of an unrefined salt like Redmond real salt on your tongue a few times a day, along with steady hydration, goes a long way here, because as insulin drops, your body stops holding on to sodium the way it normally does. Day 2 tends to be the hardest for most people. Fog and fatigue can intensify. You might feel unusually cold as your thyroid temporarily down-regulates to conserve energy. And some people notice mild skin changes as part of the body's detox process. By day 3, something shifts. Ketones rise sharply. Your brain starts running efficiently on that fuel, and hunger often disappears almost entirely. Old injury sites sometimes ache briefly as the body directs repair resources there. Day 4 is when many people report their sharpest thinking and most stable mood of the entire fast. And day 5 is the peak. Maximum growth hormone, maximum stem cell activity, and the point where, once you reintroduce food, your body starts using that nutrition as raw material to rebuild. So what can you actually consume during this 5 days? Water is your foundation. Aim for at least half your body weight in ounces daily. Unsweetened herbal teas like green tea, ginger, or chamomile are fine, along with a small amount of lemon or lime water. Unflavored electrolytes aren't optional here. They're essential for preventing cramping and supporting basic cellular function as your sodium and potassium shift. Light to medium roast coffee is generally fine too. It contains chlorogenic acid, which may support autophagy, though you should skip it if it spikes your anxiety or heart rate. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and water is also acceptable. What you want to avoid entirely is anything with actual calories. No bone broth, no protein shakes, no fat bombs, because those shift you into a partial fast that, while still beneficial, doesn't reach the same depth of autophagy as a true water fast. Preparation matters just as much as the fast itself. 2 to 3 days beforehand, cut processed food, Shift toward high-protein meals with 30 to 50 grams of protein per sitting. Lean on healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and pasture-raised eggs. And add in bitter and cruciferous vegetables like arugula, broccoli, and dandelion greens to support liver function. During the fast, walking is the recommended form of movement, ideally outdoors for a few miles a day, while resistance training and high-intensity workouts should wait until you're eating normally again. Now, here's the part that gets overlooked constantly, and it might be the most important piece of this entire process. How you break the fast determines how much of the healing you actually keep. A good rule of thumb is to divide your fasting days by 2 to estimate your refeeding window. So after 5 days, plan on roughly 2 to 3 days of careful reintroduction. Day 1 back. Aim for 500 to 800 calories if you're under 200 pounds, or 800 to 1,000 if you're over that. And stick to gentle foods like bone broth, a protein shake, unsweetened Greek yogurt, or well-cooked vegetable soup. Your digestive system has essentially been dormant, so a big steak on day 1, however healthy it normally is, can leave you feeling terrible and undo some of the progress you made. Day 2, add roughly 400 more calories, still favoring soft, well-cooked foods. By day 3 and beyond, you can return to a normal, whole food pattern. Grass-fed meats, wild-caught fish, colorful vegetables, because your stem cells are actively rebuilding tissue using whatever nutrition you give them as raw material. A few quick questions people always ask. Will you lose muscle? Generally not. That growth hormone surge is specifically protective of lean tissue. Though resistance training once you're eating again is what actually builds new muscle. Is coffee allowed? Yes, within reason as described earlier. What about bone broth fasting instead of water fasting? It's a gentler, partial approach that still offers benefits, just not as deep as a true water fast. For women, timing around your cycle matters too. The days right after your period tends to be the easiest window, while the week before your period is generally best avoided. And if at any point you experience severe weakness, chest pain, confusion, a racing or irregular heartbeat, or a seizure, stop immediately. There's no failure in stopping early. Your body will simply build more capacity for next time. At the end of the day, this isn't some biohacking trend dreamed up in a lab. It's something woven into human history. Our ancestors didn't have refrigerators or grocery stores on every corner. They went through stretches without food constantly, and every system in the human body still knows how to respond to that with repair and renewal. The science behind it isn't fringe, it's Nobel Prize winning and increasingly hard to ignore. If this changed the way you think about what your body is actually capable of, hit like, subscribe for more videos like this, and let me know in the comments. What's the longest you've ever gone without food? And would you try 5 days?